Hi, third grade. We're subtracting fractions here on Monday morning, and it's just like adding them, but we're subtracting them. One thing I want to point out to you is that we are keeping the same denominator once again. So here's my tenths. We're working with tenths on our page. 1/10. The denominator stays the same. We are subtracting the numerators, the top number. Okay, so don't let it freak you out, okay? It's the same thing. If we start with this word problem, we have to remember this chapter is on subtracting fractions, so we know this is a subtraction problem, but I want you to remember that you need to point out the words and remember the words that tell you what kind of problem you're doing. So let's read it. Matthew ran 3/10 of a mile. Charlie ran 1/10 of a mile. How much farther did Matthew run than Charlie? So there are words in that problem that tell us that it is a subtraction problem. Can you tell me which ones? That's right. How much farther did Matthew run than Charlie? It's a comparison. Than gives you the comparison. Okay? 3/10 compared to 1/10. What's the difference between them? That's what we're finding. So what we do here is you can do this. You can have fraction strips of 10. 10/10 is one whole. Color in 3, purple color, or whatever color you like. Then in the second step, so we show 3/10. In the second step, we're going to X out one of the tenths. That's take away 1/10. Take away 1, okay? And we get 2/10. Okay, 2/10 is the remainder. So here, look what we have. 3/10 minus 1/10 equals 2/10. That's our subtraction sentence to show how much farther Matthew ran than Charlie. 3/10 minus 1/10 is 2/10. Subtract the numerators. The denominator stays the same. Exclamation point. I wrote that in, okay? Over here, you can also use a number line. You go to the 3/10 mark and you go backwards 1/10. Subtract 1. You see the arrow is pointing down. Just like if you were adding, you'd point up. This is pointing back. 3/10 minus 1/10 is 2/10. Write this amount as a fraction in its simplest form. So 2/10, we have to simplify it. It's giving you the answer of 1/5. Do you remember how to do that? Let's do that together, okay? We've got 2/10, okay? And we're going to simplify 2/10. Okay, stop with that. Okay, 2/10, and we're going to make it simple. Now, they told us it was 1/5, okay, in the book. So let's do this. 2 divided by what equals 1? 2. Whenever you have a 2 here, you're probably going to divide by 2. All right? 10 divided by 2, same. You divide the numerator by the same thing as the denominator. Always the same, okay? You get 5. So 1/5 is the equivalent fraction to 2/10. But this one is in its simplest form. Okay, that's very, very important, okay? Simplifying fractions, okay? Simplest form, okay? Now, let's go on to the next page. I already have here my sixths for you, all mapped out. Let's look at our sixths. Let's zoom in. There we go. So we have sixths. All right, now, if I have 6 sixths on the top of page 403, you have 6 sixths minus 1 sixth, right? Where is it? Right there. 6 sixths minus 1 sixth equals 5 sixths. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take away 1, and we have 5, right? Now, 5 sixths is in its lowest form already. Why do you think so? 5 over 6, 5 sixths. That's right, you're correct, because 5 cannot be divided by any number that 6 can be divided by. Okay, so it's in its simplest form, 5 sixths. That's its simplest form. Let's look at the next one. The next one is, look at this one, 5 sixths minus 1 sixth. Okay, 5 sixths minus 1 sixth equals 4 sixths, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take away 1. We've got 4. So here we are with our 4 sixths. Now I want to ask you, is this in its simplest form? Is this in its simplest form? No, the answer would be no. Now, what divided into the numerator and the denominator will give us something lower than 4/6. So if I divide 4 by 4, I get 1. But if I divide 6 by 4, I don't really get a problem that we know. We get a decimal. Okay, so we can't use 4. 3 is an odd number. It's not going to work. It works with the 6, but it doesn't work with the 4. So let's go to 2. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. And 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So 2/3 is equivalent to 4/6. They are equivalent, but this is the simplest form. Okay, now let's do the rest of this page on your own. Okay, right here it goes all the way down. It goes down all the sixths. But I want you to do page 403, and then you'll do your homework. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.